7 Psychology Quotes for Young Adults in Their 20s, A Story of Experiencing. I am Lee Ji-eun. Hello, everyone. A psychologist and behavioral psychology researcher. Thank you very much for joining us today. I already receive great energy from your eyes, filled with hot academic passion. Today, in this place, we will talk deeply about the frustration that comes unexpectedly at any moment in life and sometimes makes us collapse, and we would like to 7
share
famous
with you
psychology quotes that will give you the strong strength and wisdom to stand up again. Even in the shadow of that frustration, in particular, we will think about the new forms of anxiety that the rapidly changing era of artificial intelligence, AI, brings to us, and find practical wisdom and methods to overcome that anxiety in a healthy way and enrich our lives. Well then, shall we open our hearts wide and begin this journey together? This is the first quote. It's okay if you fall, just learn how to get up. Naturally brings back vague memories of riding a bike. For the first time, something that everyone has probably experienced at least once during their childhood. We fell countless times, got our knees bruised, and sometimes cried in pain. But eventually we learned to pedal with both feet, keep our balance, and move forward. There is probably no one who has mastered a bicycle without falling even once. Our life's journey is very similar to this. Frustration is never a failure. That means the end, but rather a valuable learning process to move on to the next step, and a precious experience that makes us stronger. In recent years, as AI has made innovative advances in various fields of our society, we often hear stories of many people about feeling vague anxiety. Will AI replace my job? Will AI become so smart that the unique role of humans will disappear? How should I adapt to this change? These deep concerns and anxieties are very natural. But folks, we need to move beyond seeing AI as just our competitor. Rather, AI is a powerful tool that can help us maximize our potential, and a great partner that can take our productivity and creativity to the next level. The most important thing at this point is to clearly recognize the unique value and abilities that only humans possess, which cannot be replaced no matter how much AI develops, and to continuously develop and grow them. For example, AI is capable of analyzing massive amounts of data in an instant, performing complex calculations, and even drafting text or images. However, discovering meaningful insights from that vast amount of data, critically reviewing the results, understanding and empathizing with complex and subtle human emotions, and making final strategic decisions based on moral and ethical standards are still unique domains that only we humans can perform. If you are facing a frustrating moment right now, take a moment to stop everything and think deeply. Ask yourself questions like, what did I learn from this experience? What did I lack? And how can I improve next time? And what new direction can this setback lead me in? Through this process, you will set clearer goals and directions and discover the inner strength to get back up again. This is the second quote. After the darkest night comes the dawn. This famous quote carries a profound message that we should never lose hope. Even in pitch black darkness, where we cannot see even an inch ahead, just as the darkest night is the time when we can see the countless stars twinkling in the night sky most clearly. Darkness makes the presence of light more urgent and reveals its value more clearly. Does this feel like the darkest and most difficult night of your life? The endless stress from school, the worries about finding a job with an uncertain future, the difficulties and conflicts from complicated human relationships. All of these things can feel like a huge shadow, weighing you down, suffocating you. But remember this moment. All these moments of frustration and hardship that you are experiencing now will make you stronger and more solid. and will become a valuable stepping stone for a much brighter and more brilliant tomorrow. If you overcome this difficult time with courage and patience, you will have grown into a much more mature, wiser, and strong person who will not be shaken by any difficulties. The third quote is so familiar that it is sometimes easy to overlook its meaning. Failure is the mother of success. But these short words contain a profound truth that penetrates the essence of our lives. Through failure, we can clearly learn what went wrong and what was lacking, and based on that realization, we can try and improve by finding a better way next time. Steve Jobs, a world-renowned innovator, experienced the tremendous frustration and bitter failure of being kicked out of the company he founded, Apple. He may have despaired at the time, but the experience led him to greater success and innovation through animation. Studio Pixar and computer company Next. Eventually, he returned to Apple and created the legendary iPhone. His failure was a necessary step towards his ultimate success. You too? Did you fail an important test? Have you been told that you have failed an interview that you prepared for a long time? Are you having trouble in your relationship with someone you love? It's okay. Through this experience, you will be able to better understand your strengths and weaknesses and prepare more thoroughly and wisely for the next opportunity. All these failures will ultimately become valuable nutrients and essential experiences that will lead you to a more solid and shining success. Don't be afraid of failure. Failure is like a milestone on the road to success. This is the fourth quote. There is an opportunity hidden in every difficulty. This famous quote is in line with the Eastern philosophy that a crisis is an opportunity. The unprecedented crisis of the COVID-19 pandemic that has swept the world over the past few years has brought us great pain. But at the same time, it has led to the explosive development of non-face-to-face technologies and the emergence of new business models and lifestyles, such as working from home and online learning. In this way, a crisis is not simply a negative phenomenon, but can be a catalyst that breaks the existing framework and explores new possibilities. The same goes for the advent of the AI era, which is accelerating recently. Behind the vague anxiety that some jobs may disappear or change due to AI, there are endless new forms of work that only humans can do, and innovative roles that can maximize synergy by cooperating with AI. What is important is your flexible perspective and proactive attitude to discover new opportunities within the wave of change without fearing or turning away from it. No matter how much AI develops, focus on continuously developing the unique human domains that cannot be replaced. Creative thinking, delicate empathy, complex problem-solving, and critical thinking. Emotional intelligence and ethical judgment are also unique strengths of humans. Recognizing and developing these unique strengths that each of you possesses will be your greatest opportunity to shine in this age of change. Be a wise person who turns a crisis into an opportunity. The fifth quote is, you become what you think. In psychology, this is called a self-fulfilling prophecy. It means that our actions are determined by the thoughts and beliefs we have. And ultimately, the results of those actions confirm our beliefs. For example, if we tell ourselves, I'm too lazy to do this, our brain will adjust our behavior to match that thought, and we will actually postpone or give up on the task, reinforcing our negative self-belief that I'm too lazy. On the other hand, if we think positively, I can do this, even though it is difficult, we will put in the necessary effort toward that goal and eventually achieve the goal, forming a positive self-belief that I am a person who can do it. Anxiety about AI is also greatly influenced by these self-fulfilling prophecies. If we only view AI as an uncontrollable threat and are caught up in vague fears about the future, we will lose the motivation to learn new skills, become unable to adapt, to change, and shrink. This could ultimately lead to negative outcomes, such as being eliminated in the AI era. However, if we recognize AI as a powerful tool that will expand our capabilities and a capable partner that will improve our work
and use
efficiency.
it positively.
We will be able to actively learn and utilize AI technology to maximize our potential
And create
new opportunities. It is entirely up to you to decide what seeds you plant in your heart. Plant the seeds of positive self-belief and believe in your infinite potential. Your thoughts become reality. This is the 6th quote. The greatest glory lies not in never falling, but in rising every time you fall. Is widely known
This
as
famous
the saying
quote
of Confucius, the great Oriental thinker. We are not perfect beings. As we go through life, we go through countless trials and errors, and sometimes experience unexpected mistakes and failures. The important thing is not to be perfect and never fall, but to have the courage and unyielding will to pick yourself up and move forward again. Instead of getting discouraged and giving up when you fall, the setbacks you are experiencing now are not meant to keep you down forever, but rather they can be a valuable process to test and further strengthen the resilience hidden within you. Just like when we train our muscles at the gym, we experience pain called muscle soreness, but by overcoming that pain, we develop stronger and more solid muscles. Frustration and failure are painful processes that train our inner muscles, but through the process, we become more resilient and flexible mentally. It's okay to fall. Warm yourself up, take a breather, and get ready to get back up again. You have the power to do it. Believe in your resilience. The last 7th quote is, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. This profound statement is widely known as a quote from a novel by the famous Japanese author Haruki Murakami. Painful emotions like frustration, loss, and sadness are an inevitable part of our lives, coming without warning like the weather. We cannot completely avoid this pain. But how we perceive that pain, how we interpret it, and how we overcome, it is entirely up to us. We can despair in our suffering, blame ourselves, blame everything in the world, and fall into a deep swamp of suffering. Or you can use that pain as an opportunity to learn important life lessons, discover new perspectives, and grow yourself. The same goes for anxiety about the changes brought about by the AI era. The development of AI technology is an irreversible and enormous trend, and the social, economic, and cultural changes that it brings may entail a certain degree of chaos and new forms of suffering. Examples include the disappearance of some traditional jobs, the burden of learning new skills, and AI ethics issues. But it is entirely up to you whether you will simply accept this change as a hardship to avoid, or whether you will use it as a new opportunity to develop yourself and find a wise way to coexist with AI. We cannot help but feel pain, but we can choose how to react and act on that pain. You see, we are beings with incredible resilience and strength to bounce back from moments of frustration. I sincerely hope that these 7 psychology quotes we shared today will serve as a strong lighthouse and compass to help you wisely overcome all the frustrations and difficulties that come to your life. Maximize your potential and move forward powerfully toward a brighter and more prosperous future. Thank you again for joining us. For today's lecture, we support your bright future. If you have gained confidence in being reborn through today's lecture, please subscribe and like and leave many comments. 7 psychology quotes for 20-somethings. A story of experiencing the practice. See you next time. Thank you.